Hi there. In this video we'll be covering, is it better to self-publish a book? Every book has a different path, and your path could involve traditional or self-publishing. Stay tuned to find out my choice for your book and the biggest reasons for self-publishing. By the end of this video, you will learn the biggest benefits of self-publishing your book. Speed is one, control is another, money is another factor as well. And stay tuned until the end of the video for an opportunity I really think you're going to enjoy. Let's dive in. When considering your path to publication, it's complicated. You know, it's like the relationship status on Facebook. It's complicated. There's no one easy answer, but I will tell you this. If you don't have a platform, and if you don't have a topic that is marketable on a bigger level, and you don't have the right publisher in line, the traditional path is probably not the best way for you. A lot of times traditional publishers are working with people with huge social media platforms or with large email lists and opportunities to sell their books. They're looking for people who can sell copies of their book. A generation ago, that wasn't the case. It was really, what's the best story? We can market it and promote it. Because publishers today are devoting less resources to promotion, they really want authors to promote their own books, which is why they're really not taking on authors with platforms that aren't massive or with topics that aren't really strong drivers. So it really depends, but if you don't check some of those boxes, and if you're not writing about a topic that's super popular, I would self-publish. It's easier, it's faster, and ultimately it's probably better or just as good. Let's focus on speed a little bit. If you end up traditionally publishing your book, you need to work on a book proposal, which is a 30 to 50 to 70 page document that details the marketing elements, the platform, the book itself, what your message is, all these things. It's a big chore. It's a big obstacle. It's a big hassle. Writing a book proposal is not a lot of fun. It's good to unlock some elements of your book, but it's a challenge. Then you need to take that book proposal and you need to get an agent interested in working on it and pitching it to publishers. I have an agent that I pitch stuff to. Hi, Joe, you're the best. But then on top of that, the agent then takes the book and the book proposal and pitches it around. And you could be shopping this thing for 4, 6, 8, 12 months until you have a book deal. Okay, great, you have a book deal. And you could have money coming your way. Fun. But there's a waiting game. There's so much waiting involved. The path to actually publishing your book could be 2 years from the time that you sign a deal to the time that your book is in readers' hands. 2 years is a long time. It is a long time, and especially when you are an author who has needs, whether it's building your business, whether it's getting your book out now, whatever the case may be, speed is a factor. So if you want to go fast, don't go traditional, self-publish. That's a good factor. You want to go fast, self-publishing is your option. If you want to go slow and take your time and build some stuff up and maybe get a bigger focus and attention, visibility on your book, traditional might be the good way to go. But if speed is a factor, self-publish. Control is another factor. If you want control over the final product, over the price point, over the cover design, over the publication date, over every single thing, where it gets sold, where you get to promote it, all of those things. If you want control over those things, you should self-publish your book instead of traditionally publishing. Traditional publishing will incur things that are out of your control. You don't get the final say. Sometimes the publication date might arbitrarily change. I remember one of my books, and it was slated to come out in March, April, and then it got bumped to the end of May, and I was like, ugh. I was so excited about the first publication date. It's annoying. It's annoying, but it's the reality. You don't have control over a lot of things. You are giving away control, and the publisher is controlling. It can be great to work with a professional, traditional publisher, and my experiences with traditional publishers have been great, but there's a lot of projects and a lot of books that, if you want control, you should self-publish. Financial rewards, money. The inherent idea would be that traditionally publishing, which usually comes with upfront money against future royalties, you get an advance. The prevailing logic would be that the financial rewards are greater for traditional publishing. It's nice to have guaranteed money coming in. However, if you are interested in getting the most money, traditional publishing is probably not the best path, because there's a publisher in line that takes quite a bit of money, and because not every book sold equals the same thing. The money side of the book world is complicated, and it's further complicated by the reality that true financial rewards from your book don't come from book sales. They come from the opportunities and the doors that open because of the book sales. Putting the book in the right people's hands with the right sales offerings in line could get people to go from your book to becoming clients and customers of yours, paying lots and lots of money to work with you. Maybe you're a coach. Maybe you're offering high-value services. Whatever the case may be, there's a transformation element at play, and you're taking advantage of that. You're making the most of that. You're using the book as a marketing resource to help your reader take a journey with you and enter your sales funnel and want to go through your sales funnel and collaborate with you and take a journey with you. That's what financial rewards look like in books. I know it's easy to focus on book sales and think, how much money did I make from my book sales? Book sales are inherently overrated metric, and ultimately you really need to sell volume in order to get a lot of money from book sales. If you sell 20,000 books and you're making $3 a book, hypothetical that has happened to a client of mine, and that's $60,000. Okay, that's a nice amount of money. What if you have one client that you charge $60,000 for a high-value service offering, a year's worth of service to work with you? Which one's more likely to happen? I would argue that getting that one person is much more likely than getting 20,000 people to do something. On top of that, if you get 20,000 people to buy your book, what is the thing that they can do next? Maybe there's new potential within your book that you can unlock. Maybe there's other things that can happen. Maybe there's other sales offerings. So even if the revenue from book sales is nice because you're selling a lot of copies, what if you can get 1 out of 100 people to want to take a journey with you and become clients of yours? That's truly transformative wealth. That's the opportunity. That's the opportunity that books offer, but so many authors think small. They think in terms of book sales only. Think beyond book sales. Think beyond the things that you can offer to get a reader to want to become a client of yours, to take a journey with you, to book you as a speaker, anything. There's some opportunity there, and there's so much opportunity that you can unlock from your book. Again, so, there's so many options, so many reasons why self-publishing is preferred. If you're looking at control, speed, financials, what about when self-publishing is the right path? I focus so much attention on speed, control, and money. And those three factors that can help, really tip the scales in self-publishing's favor. What about the right point to traditionally publish a book? I would say it's a book that has a lot of reader appeal. It's on a broad-based topic. It's something that you spend a lot of time on. It's not a rush job. And a publisher can help you take it to new places. I think about one of the books I'm really proud of, my favorite book that I've ever written. It's called Playing Through the Pain. It's a biography about baseball star Ken Caminiti, and it was published in 2022 by Abrams Press. And that was a book that if I had self-published, I feel like it wouldn't have been taken seriously. Not that it was any less than, but it just felt like that needed to be traditionally published. So there's books that you work on that you're like, this kind of feels like it needs to be traditionally published to get the attention it deserves. On the bright side, a lot of times you can work with professionals that work on traditionally published books as a self-published book. You can find them on Readsy or on LinkedIn or somewhere else. You can work with the same people who write and produce and create some of the coolest books out there and work with them directly for your book. I don't want you to think of your self-published book as less than. I want you to think of your self-published book as the right option, the right path for you. It's not a less than. It's the best option for your book. If you want to learn more about is it better to self-publish a book, you'll definitely want to watch another video I recorded. I'll link to it on the screen. It's called I Need Help to Write My Book. That episode really covers the types of support that you can get on your book journey. Book ghostwriting, book coaching, courses, or some tips and lessons for DIY. There's so many different paths to choose from, and I want to make sure that you get the best help possible to help you on your way. Remember, A good book can change your life. I'm Dan Good. Thanks for watching.